Hey everyone, and welcome to Race City Marine. Today we're going to take you on a tour of one of our brand new boats. This is the 2026 Barletta Lusso 23UC. If you have any questions on this boat or the rest of our inventory, take a look at our contact information down in the description. So this boat has a really nice exterior. You'll notice there's champagne for the main color, and then the rest is finished off in black diamond. This also has the Blackout package, so all of the aluminum rails have been blacked out. The interior, the primary color is Marquesan gray, and then Amore gray for all of the flooring. At the back of this Barletta, this features the 300 horsepower Mercury engine. Definitely plenty of power to get this boat up on plane. This particular boat also has this optional ladder that has 3 larger steps for the top 3 rungs. So this is going to be more beneficial for you to enter and exit along with the stainless steel grab handles, but it's also pet friendly too. So that way your pets can easily enter and exit. You'll notice there's a lot of deck space back here. There's also more stainless steel for the cage that separates the motor from that deck space. There's a flag holder and ski pylon up top. You also have additional fenders on both sides, along with these areas to attach additional ropes, and there's a central gas fill up too. So it doesn't matter which side of the dock you're filling up to, that makes it a lot more convenient. And there's also storage in this tri-tune. So you can put in wet ropes or any other items that you may have at the back of the boat, and you'll notice part of the JBL audio along with your transom audio adjustment. Now on board this Lusso, UC stands for Ultra Lounger and Captain's Chairs. So with the Ultra Lounger, you have a lot of different configurations. As you can tell right now, there's rear-facing and forward-facing seating. Now you have this backrest that you can put in this position here. So you have storage under the entire section. You now have a rear-facing lounger on that side. Now you can also go another step further, and you have the cushions in the rear where you can have a forward-facing lounger when you have that backrest down. And you can also mix and match. So if you want people facing forwards or facing backwards, you have the option to do that. There's also ambient lights within the cup holders too, and you can also have a nice flat surface as well. So you can have this down, and with that portion down, you have even more storage underneath this cushion, which is on a hinge. So you have a lot of different ways depending on who's on board and where you need to face. Now you'll notice with the captain's chairs, they have armrests, they swivel, they do recline too. And then for your passenger, you have cup holders, an area to place and charge your phone. There's storage in the lower section, and this also has what's called doggy dock view. So there's this transparent portion of the side entry and exit door. Not only is that beneficial for your furry friends so they can see out, but as a driver, you can see through this door while it's in the closed position. And then of course you can lock it in the open position. It makes it easier to enter and exit from the dock. In front of that, you do get some storage where there's also the JBL sub, and you have this leg support. So you have a nice flat surface. You could also place in items underneath if you needed to. And this storage bin is lined in plastic, so it's going to be easier to keep clean and keep dry. Now, this Barletta is also a tri-tune. So Barletta utilizes the middle tri-tune for a lot of storage. You can place a tube in here, noodles, the boat cover. You have a lot of subfloor storage. Now you'll notice with the driver's seat, it's raised up a few inches to give you better visibility over the rest of your passengers. And to the right, you have your battery switch. There's also the canopy operation, your ignition, throttle adjustment with several controls within that. You get 2 cup holders for the driver, some auxiliaries too. There's the interior lighting, also your JBL head unit, and then the Simrad touchscreen system above, where you have some vitals that you can go through and pull up all of this information. Now you'll notice too, there's a 3-spoke design for the steering wheel, which is adjustable. And then on both sides, you have hidden storage. You can pull these lids up where there is an auxiliary on the one on the right side, and then take a look at the very large Simrad screen where you have a lot more vitals to go through. You can look at your miles per hour, your tack, you have blower, docking lights. You can go between your interior and exterior lighting as well. And you have various switches that you can pull up too. So a lot to go through within that system. Now going along with the pet-friendly theme, you even have a spot for food and water for your furry friends. This is a removable tray, so that way it makes it easier to clean, of course, and empty. You also have an area where you have the hidden wastebasket, so that's on board. And then with your forward-facing seats here, you also have armrests that are adjustable, so you can turn them into forward-facing captain's chairs. For the rest of the seating, these are on hinges, and they're lined in more plastic. So again, it's much easier to keep dry, keep clean. You can fit in some smaller items like life jackets or things like that. There's also auxiliaries up front. You have more cup holders, speakers too, more transparency for the door up front, and then you even have more storage in the front tri-tune. So you can place the anchor or some other items like that. Coming back to this very large bimini now, this is power operated, and as you can tell, it's going to provide a lot of shade from the sun. When you're underway, you have the leg supports up front that will be locked in the down position, and then when you're ready to fold this, simply fold those up, and then you have the rear leg supports that you will pull back out. This is going to be easier if you're going under a low bridge out on the water, or you need to trailer the boat or store it. You can easily and quickly collapse this. And with the boot installed, you can see nice and how out of the way this is. Now you can also lower this and rest it down here, so that way it's even lower, or you can raise it up to make it easier to walk underneath. But there's a look at one of our 2026 Barlettas. If you have any other questions on this boat or the rest of our inventory, take a look at our contact information down in the description, and we look forward to seeing you all out on the water.